Welcome, everybody, to the latest edition of the Bullpen with Adam the Bull, brought to you by Bet Rivers. And we got another great deal for you with a bonus bet here in the Bullpen. The Cavs battling for home court in the Eastern Conference. Didn't go well yesterday. We'll get to that. And Bet Rivers is giving you a bonus bet to use on the Cavs in this stretch run. Now through March the 15th, go to your Bet Rivers app in Ohio and use the code ATB223 to get a $10 bonus bet. You see it right there on the screen. The code is ATB223. Make sure you take advantage of that today or tomorrow as soon as you can. That code again, ATB223, available only in Ohio, must be 21, eligible players only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. We are going to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers performance yesterday. And I also want to talk about, of course, the Guardians finally, not a lot, but spending some money on the offensive side in a move that I really like. It's really no risk and high reward move. We'll get into all of that. And of course, it's a Monday, so that means I'm answering your questions. Every Monday morning, I'll ask you to send me your questions on Twitter, and then I will answer your questions. They don't have to be about sports, as long as it's not about politics or religion. Everything else is fair game. So whatever you want to get into, whatever questions you have, I will answer them. That coming up a little bit later in the show. But let's begin with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who had been undefeated since making the two trades, including the one that brought them James Harden since before the All-Star break, since the trade deadline. And the Cavs had been rolling along. They had won 2 games since returning from the All-Star break. But then yesterday they started their toughest stretch on their schedule, which included a game yesterday afternoon at Oklahoma City. But SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, was not in the lineup for the Thunder in this game. And so you thought the Cavs would go to Oklahoma City and play well. They did not, especially in the first quarter. The first quarter was ugly. I mean, ugly. A 28-5 start. The Cavs, with their most turnovers in a quarter in 6 years, it was all kinds of ugly. Evan Mobley, in particular, had a rough game. Played 25 minutes and had 2 rebounds. 2. I mean, the guy's a 7-footer. You can't have 2 rebounds. What is happening here? I know he's coming back from injury. I understand he's on a minute restriction. But when you're, 6'11" or whatever the hell he is, you can't have 2 rebounds in 25 minutes. That's embarrassing. The Cavs made a little run to get it reasonable in the first, played much better in the second and third quarters, actually took a lead in the third quarter, but then the Thunder took control again in the fourth quarter, outscored them by 5. Win by 8, 121-113, the final. The Thunder just play such a different style of game. Although it was, out of the norm for them, they're not usually a huge three-point shooting team in terms of volume. They did make 21 threes yesterday. Isaiah Joe was the hottest guy, 6 of 11 from 3. He was fantastic, and they shoot 51% overall from behind the arc, and everybody shot it well. I mean, whoever took a shot. I think the only guy that shot under 50% from 3 for the Thunder was Chet Holmgren, was 1 for 4, and Lou Dort was 2 for 6. Everybody else, Joe, Wallace, both of the Williamses, Aaron Wiggins, Jared McCain, all were 50% or better from beyond the three-point line. So impressive win without some of their better guys for Oklahoma City. It really was, and I know they're at home, and I know they're a great team. Everybody's, I got texts, the Cavs play a team with tough defense, and they fall apart. The Thunder are the best team in the league. I know they didn't have SGA, probably not the best team in the league. Well, they're not the best team in the league without him, but they're still very good. And the Cavs would only have to worry about the Thunder if they got to the finals, one step at a time. Dean Wade, who I've never been a big fan of, also 18 minutes. He did nothing out there. 18 minutes, 3 rebounds, no points, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 block. That's it. So not much from him. The Cavs actually overall shot pretty well from 3. Donovan Mitchell was 9 of 19, and excuse me, the Cavs shot well from inside the 3-point arc. They didn't shoot well from 3. Besides Sam Merrill, Sam Merrill was on fire from 3. He was 6 of 10, but the rest of the team, including Donovan Mitchell, struggled. James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. In fact, the starting lineup: Mitchell, Harden, Mobley, Wade, and Allen. Obviously, Allen doesn't shoot threes, and Wade only took 1. But all total, they were 4 for 18 from 3 from the starting lineup. And again, it was, if you take out Sam Merrill, the Cavs were 7 for 29 from 3. That's under 25%. You can't win that way. Not against Oklahoma City. You can't win that way against most teams. Certainly not against Oklahoma City. The way they play, the rebounds were even. Jared Allen did a good job on the boards. Wasn't as aggressive offensively. It's going to take time to get used to playing together. Don't make a big thing about it. It's a regular season game. Nothing. The Cavs can't prove anything in the regular season. If they won this game, it wouldn't have proven anything. You got 24 games to go in the regular season. It's their first loss in a while. They'll be back on the court tomorrow night against the Knicks. Now, obviously the Knicks are a team you're going to probably see either in the Cavs are going to have to get past the Knicks. It's the Knicks, the Celtics, the Pistons, and the Cavs. Those are the 4 teams in the East. That one of those 4 teams is going to go to the finals. And so, it'll be good. You play the Knicks at home tomorrow night, 7:30 start. The game's on Peacock. The Knicks, like the Cavs, are playing well. They lost to the Pistons, but they've won their last 2 close games against the Rockets and Bulls. All the teams up top are playing well, even with the Cavs' loss yesterday. Obviously, you know what Boston's done. They're going to get Tatum back. The Pistons continue to play great. It's unbelievable. They got the best record in the NBA, in the entire NBA, a better winning percentage than the Thunder even. It's crazy. So there you go. Now, one other thing before I get to the fan questions here, and that's about baseball. And we do have a couple. We haven't. I'll add these in as part of my conversation about what the Guardians did here. So I got 2 questions about the Guardians. The first one was from Mike Watch 32, who said thoughts on the Rhys Hoskins signing. So I'm about to talk about that. And also got a tweet from Brendan Sala, who said, assuming DeLauder and Valera are healthy and slotted as outfield starters, along with Hoskins at first base DH, where would you put the ceiling and floor of the Guardians offense? So these questions go together, and they're part of my general conversation about what the Guardians did yesterday. I love the Rhys Hoskins signing. Good job by my buddy Zach Meisel breaking the news. Usually all the national guys, you saw John Heyman breaking the news of the Cubs signing Michael Conforto at like 2 a.m. Usually the national guys, whether it's John Heyman or certainly Ken Rosenthal or oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. He's a Cleveland guy from ESPN. Why the hell can't I think of his name right now? I'm gonna have to look it up. Jeez. Anyway, everybody knows who I'm talking about. I'm just having a brain freeze on the situation. Jeff Passan. Jeez, I can't believe I couldn't think of his name. Jeff usually actually breaks the most stories. But good job by Zach Meisel, who's in Arizona at Guardians camp. Zach and I'll do an Ultimate Guardian show at some point today, so stay tuned for that for more details on this. But Guardians signed Rhys Hoskins to a minor league contract, which is stunning to me that's all he got. I really can't believe that nobody – I mean, Herman Marquez, who's a total piece of shit pitcher, has been just a gas can for the Rockies. This guy got a major league contract. And Zach Meisel and Rhys Hoskins doesn't, I don't understand. But whatever, he's going to make the team most likely. According to Zach, the deal with Hoskins will pay him a base salary of $1.5 million should he make the team. He'll have some incentives, which he'll reach if he plays well. This is a no-risk move. The Guardians have the second lowest payroll in baseball. They have spent essentially no money this offseason. If he stinks, it only cost him $1.5 million. Now, here's the thing, the upside on Rhys Hoskins. If you follow me at all, you know I've been saying for a month that the Guardians should sign Rhys Hoskins. Now, there are rumblings, and this is probably why he had to sign a minor league deal, that maybe, he's got an early end to his career. But what I don't understand is Rhys Hoskins has hit take out the COVID year, obviously, where they didn't play a lot of games. Since 2018, he's hit at least 26 home runs, all 5 full seasons. Now, 2 of the last 3 years, he's been hurt. In 23, he didn't play the whole season. And last year, he missed essentially the entire second half of the season. He still hit 12 homers in 90 games. So the power has always been there. Is that just gone? I don't believe that. If you look, first of all, it's not like he's 36, 37. He's 32 years old. Well, he'll be 33 in a month. So he's 33 years old. Even in, I'll say post-steroid baseball, that's not old. That's still the back end of prime. Again, for $1.5 million, even if he's garbage, so what? It's $1.5 million. But the upside on Rhys Hoskins, he could end up second on the team in homers. The guy just in 2024, he hit 26 homers in 131 games. He had an OPS of 722. Again, his numbers since that, he had a significant injury in 2023, and he missed the whole season. And before that, he had been in a borderline, never been an all-star, but he's been a borderline all-star caliber player. He had, from 2018 through 2022, his OPS was 850, 819, 887, 864, 794. His OPS plus at least 111 all 5 of those years. 100 is average. So he's been above average to very good player for most of his career. Now, last 2 years, 131 games and 90 games, OPS is 722 with an OPS plus of 99. Last year, in just 90 games, an OPS of 748 and an OPS plus of 108. These are above average numbers. So even if he's average, even if he's an average major leaguer for this season, at $1.5 million, let's say it's 19 home runs, that's probably at worst 4th best on the team. So I love this move. Not a great defensive player. Kyle Manzardo needs to play first base. I think Rhys Hoskins is going to mostly DH. I don't know. In the past, he's killed lefties. Last year, he was actually better against righties. So it's strange that it kind of went away from his. I don't know if they're going to just DH it, like maybe platoon him and Kafis at DH. We'll see. But I think to start the year at least, I would play Rhys Hoskins most games. You got a lights out right-hander on the mound. Okay, take him out. But now with Hoskins in the mix and Stephen Kwan playing center field in spring training. Now they need him to play center field because Chase DeLauter's injury history is checkered. He's got a much better chance of staying healthy playing left field. Stephen Kwan is completely capable of playing center field. He may not win a Gold Glove in center. Who cares? He's going to be a good center fielder. And it's better for the Guardians if he's playing center and DeLauter's playing left. And then I got Valera in right. And then Hoskins is my DH and Manzardo at first. And then I could use Kafis in the corner outfield spots. I could use him at DH. I could use him at first base. He'll get his at-bats. Remember, guys get hurt. Guys are in slumps. You want a day off. Kafis will get his at-bats. So what's the upside with Hoskins, with Valera, and DeLauder at the corners? I think the upside is that the Guardians can be a middle-of-the-road offensive team. They were a terrible offensive team last year. I think if all goes well, they can be a middle-of-the-road offensive team. And as a middle-of-the-road offensive team, I think they'll be a top team in terms of pitching. They'll be a playoff team. Right? Now, on paper, they're the second best team in the Central. I like them more than Kansas City. I don't like them as much as Detroit. I like it better with the Hoskins move, but I still got to put Detroit ahead. That brings me to another question I got asked here, which was, let me go back to my questions. That was, okay, from Jeremy Kepler. He says, what's your prediction of total wins for each team in the MLB Central divisions? So, start with the American League Central, because that's what more people care about here. In the American League Central, I've got the Tigers winning the division. And I've got the Guardians. I haven't done my official predictions yet. Let me think about, as of now, do I have the Guardians as a wild card team? It's going to be tough to be a wild card team from the Central. So I'm going to say I don't like the Yankees this year. I don't like Boston. I like their pitching. Don't love their lineup. I'm going to say the Guardians get in. Last year, both the Guardians and Tigers got into the playoffs. I'm going to say the same thing happens this year. I may shock you with my playoff predictions. I like two teams from each division. I like Houston and Seattle in the West, Cleveland and Detroit in the Central, and the Blue Jays and the Orioles. There's a big shocker for you. Blue Jays and Orioles in the East. I'll probably be wrong, and the Yankees will make the playoffs. But for the first time in forever, I'm picking the Yankees not to make the playoffs. I'm very down on the Yankees. I don't like their lineup outside of Judge. I think Bellinger's going to be a disaster this year. I don't trust Garrett Cole to bounce back. I don't buy that Cam Schlittler is as good as he pitched last year. I think, and they're an old lineup. That's why they always have a lot of injuries. They don't give their young players a chance to develop. The only guy they do is Volpe, and he's the most overrated player in baseball. I don't know if he's overrated anymore. So my order of finish in the Central is Tigers, Guardians, Royals, White Sox will get out of the basement, and the Twins will finish dead last. Twins will lose 100+ this year. NL Central, the Brewers have dominated this division. I think the Cubs, I picked the Brewers. I'm not a homer. I picked the Brewers to win the division last year, even though a lot of people were picking the Cubs. Not this year. The Brewers, I never count out the Brewers, but the Cubs they just got a much better roster top to bottom. They really do. So I'm going to pick the Cubs to finish first. I think the NL Central is going to be really good. Last year, the Brewers, Cubs, and Reds all made the playoffs. I don't think all three will make the playoffs this year. In fact, I think the Mets are going to make the playoffs, and I think the Braves are going to make the playoffs. They were terrible last year. So I had the Orioles, who were terrible, making the playoffs. I think the Mets, Phillies, and Braves, the Brewers and the Cubs, and the Dodgers only in the West. I think the Padres are going to fall on their face this year. So in the National League Central, I've got the Cubs finishing first, the Brewers second, the Reds third, the Pirates fourth. I don't have the Reds or Pirates making the playoffs, but I think the Pirates will finish right at 500 this year. They're improving. I like their pitching staff, or their starting staff. I don't like their bullpen. And their lineup's improving. They're not going to, there still won't be a good lineup, but they'll be below average instead of being terrible in the lineup. The Reds will just miss. They'll be the 7 team. The Pirates will be right around 500. The Cardinals are going to be awful. It's going to be one of their worst seasons ever. They could lose 100 games. They're really bad. Now, they're not Rockies bad. The Rockies lost 119 last year. They could lose even more than that. They're a disgrace to the sport, an absolute disgrace. All right, couple more questions that I got. Let's take this question from Joe. Joe in Nashville. He says, "What's your favorite deli in Northeast Ohio?" Well, Joe, I'm glad you asked that question. Now, here's my top three. I'll go 3-1. Number 3, Joe's Deli in Rocky River. Always crowded, busy. I say that's a good thing. It's like it's a good vibe, even though the clientele's old. Always got reliable soups, good corned beef sandwiches, very good burgers. That's number 3. Number 2 is Larder. Larder is in Tremont. If you don't know it, get to know it. Great place. They change the menu, but they always have the pastrami, and they always have the chicken sandwich, which is amazing. So I love Larder. I love the vibe of the place, obviously in the old firehouse. If you've been there, if you've never been there, check it out. But number 1 remains, has been, and will probably always be Slyman's downtown. I don't know if it's is it technically downtown? I guess so. Yeah. If you live in Northeast Ohio, you're in Slyman's. I don't even know what to say to you. It's the best corned beef in town. It rivals any of the great corned beef places in New York. Great family that owns the business. I know them. Great system they have there. Only thing missing is they don't have knishes. I got to get a knish at Slyman's. But their corned beef sandwiches are off the wall. The pastrami is amazing. Their fries are great. They got the Dr. Brown sodas. They got you covered. Those. There you go. That's my top 3 delis. And finally, I think this is the last question that I was going to do. Yes. Last one is from my man Eddie Everhart, who says, "Why do you think Jesse Plemons wasn't nominated for Begonia?" It's a good question. Jesse Plemons, Begonia is a movie. If you don't know what the hell he's talking about, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It is a bizarre movie. I don't know if I can tell you anything else about it. It's bizarre. It stars Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone. And there's one other character. I've never seen the guy before. I don't know who he is. But the 2 main characters are Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone. Both were fantastic. And I'm not a big Jesse Plemons guy. He's one of those guys that a lot of people like. I'm not a huge fan, but he's turned me around. I was not a big Jesse Plemons guy, but he was absolutely marvelous in this movie. So was Emma Stone, who's had a great career rebirth here in the last couple of years. This movie was, along with Sinners, I hate to be cliche because I liked all the movies, a lot of movies that were up for Best Picture. But although Begonia, I don't think was Begonia up for Best Picture. I can't even remember. Now I got to look it up. Although there's so many freaking award shows, I don't even know. I'll just look at the Best Picture. Okay, here we go. Best Picture nominees 2025. Okay. Begonia was nominated. Begonia, fantastic. F1, I wasn't interested in seeing it. I didn't see it in the theater. I watched it when it came out on Apple TV. It was great. Great job by Brad Pitt and oh my God, what's the name of the guy? Javier Bardem and Damson Idris. He was in the show Snowfall about the drug trade back in the day. He's great, and that movie was excellent. No interest in Frankenstein. No interest in Hamnet. Marty Supreme, dying to see it. Haven't seen it yet. It's on pay-per-view. I got to check it out. One Battle After Another. That was sensational. Secret Agent. I don't even know that movie. Sentimental Value. Don't know that movie. Sinners was great with Michael B. Jordan. Excellent movie. Train Dreams, I had to shut that off. This is one of those movies that only critics like. And artsy fartsy people. Train Dreams was boring as fuck. I was after 20 minutes. I said, what are people talking about? It's so boring. What was that other horror movie? Oh God, that was also not nominated for Best Picture, but it was also one of my favorite movies of the year. I'm gonna look it up. Let's see. Weapons. That was it. And The Long Walk. Forgot about The Long Walk. That was good too. And Weapons. Those were two great movies. I got back into horror movies this year. I used to watch them as a kid. My dad would watch them with me. I'd freak out. I finally saw Black Phone and Black Phone 2. I love those movies. Anyway, that's going to do it. Jesse Plemons should have absolutely been nominated. I don't know if he should have won. I didn't see all the performances. But he certainly should have been a candidate. Certainly should have been nominated. It was ridiculous, Eddie, that he didn't get nominated. He was absolutely outstanding in that movie. Thanks, everybody, for joining me today. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Every Monday, I'll be taking your questions, looking at the headlines of the weekend and taking your questions. I'll be back on live on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Wednesday, I'll have Zach Jackson on with me from the Senior Bowl. And then Dustin will rejoin me Thursday live at 9 a.m. After getting back from the cruise. Thanks to Chris and Ernie for producing today. And thanks to all of you for watching and listening. We'll talk to you next time. Where else but right here in the bullpen with Adam the Bull, brought to you by Bet Rivers. See you, everybody.